Hi, and welcome to the McTaggart Attack Podcast. I'm Kevin McTaggart. Thank you so much for downloading the podcast today. I hope you enjoy it. Please remember to subscribe, share, and review the podcast. That would really do me a huge favor and make the podcast more popular. Do that wherever you listen to the podcast, whether it be on YouTube or any other podcasting platforms that there are. Let's see. I had a delightful conversation. I was a guest of the highly touted Zoom comedy show Hickory the Drunk and Under Quarantine with hosts Kyle Hickory and Colin Doyle, both from Woolen Mill Comedy Club. And it was a good conversation. We talked a lot about a lot of things, the status of stand-up comedy, Gary Vaynerchuk, how we're handling the whole quarantine lockdown thing. It was a good conversation. It was a fun conversation. I enjoyed my time with them. I did some stand-up, or some sit-down. I did some comedy for 3 to 5 minutes to start off. It's the first time I actually did a set since this whole thing started. It felt good. But it was good. It was more of like a conversation between three guys, three friends. And I highly recommend you look that up wherever it's posted on the internet. I think it's on Facebook and whatnot. But one thing I came up with that I talked about on the show that I wanted to talk about in today's episode of my podcast is, let me first preface it by saying that, I live in Vermont. I'm a registered voter in Vermont. I'm very proud of how Vermont is handling this pandemic, and we seem to have single-digit number of cases every day. And it seems to me like the only reason why Vermont isn't further open, it's because all of the states around us are fucking it up. You're all fucking it up. Talking to you, New York. You, New Hampshire. Especially you, Massachusetts. For fuck's sake, guys. Get your shit together. Social distancing. And I know this is hard for some of you people in New Hampshire, but wash your hands. Wash your hands with soap for about 20 seconds. They say 20 seconds, but you just have to make sure you're thorough with washing your hands. Seriously. We have to tell grown adults. We have to show grown adults how to wash their fucking hands. Ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. Like I said, I think Vermont's doing a great job. I think Governor Phil Scott is doing a good job. I watch his press conferences. He does 3 a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and they're full of information, and he answers a lot of questions, and it's fantastic, and it's very informational, and I feel good about our situation, and he's doing a good job portraying how good the situation is. And there's just one thing that really gets on my nerves about his whole thing and how he's delivering his message in these press conferences and whenever he answers the questions. And he uses the phrase Well, he uses the word in his answers a lot, and the word just annoys me. And the word he uses is spigot. He keeps, like, when he's talking about, reopening the state, he keeps saying how, like, we have to be careful how quickly we turn the spigot. We don't want to turn the spigot too quickly, and it just pisses me off whenever he says the word spigot. I mean, it's 2020. Why the fuck is he using the word spigot? I mean, this isn't like the 1800s or something like that. Like him using the word spigot. The governor of the state using the word spigot just makes me think he's using a fancier word on purpose instead of faucet or something like that. He said, I feel like this might not be like the message he's trying to convey, but him using the word spigot makes me think that he's trying to make us think that he's better than us by using a fancier word, and me thinking that he's just saying spigot because he thinks he's better than us just pisses me off. I'm a Democrat. I didn't vote for Phil. And I don't think I'll vote for him in the next election simply because of his use of the word spigot. Stop saying spigot, Phil. It's annoying. Just we have to make sure that we have to watch how quickly we turn the spigot. We have to turn the spigot. I don't even know how to spell the word spigot. Okay? In fact, I'm going to look up the word spigot right now, and I'm going to spell it the way that I think that it's supposed to be spelled. But I'm probably going to be wrong. All right? Because I think you spell it... Why is it not... I think you spell spigot S-P-I-G-O-T. By God, I was right. A spigot is a small peg or plug, especially for insertion into the vent or the vent of a cask. Also, a faucet. Faucet. It's a faucet. Just say faucet, Phil. Just, instead of using the fancy word spigot, use the word faucet instead, okay? If you want more people to vote for you in November, you should really stop saying spigot and say faucet instead. I'm going to be listening to the press conference on Wednesday. And from here on out. Because whenever you hear my podcast, or I hope one of your wonderful aides or workers or employees somewhere in the state of Vermont, I hope you're listening to this. And I really hope somebody conveys some sort of message to the governor of Vermont that he should stop saying spigot. I know that you're a Republican governor and that you have to make the Republican president look better. So you're probably thinking that you need to use a fancier word just to cover up, the inadequacies of our current president. But you don't have to. Just say faucet. That's all you have to. Just say faucet instead of spigot. Stop saying spigot, Phil. Please stop saying spigot. It really annoys the crap out of me when you use the word spigot. It pisses me off when you use the word spigot. It makes me angry when you use the word spigot. Seriously. I'm all for reopening as safely and slowly as possible. Okay? And I'm willing to, and I'm all in on doing that. Whatever. If stand-up comedy, it's not a top priority. Sports, not a top priority. Health is important, and the economy are both two important things. And I'm all in favor of, like I said, reopening as safely as possible. But you saying Spigot makes me reconsider that option. I think what I'm going to do from now on is any Facebook posts from the governor, I'm just going to ask, could you stop saying Spigot and say faucet instead? That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, that's right. Right. Because I just hate his use of the word spigot. Well, I'm glad I got that off my chest. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast today. I really appreciate it. If you could please do me a favor, like I said before, please like, subscribe, and review the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. And that's the bottom line. If you smell what the McTaggart Attack Podcast, stop saying spigot, Phil, is cooking.